you being a Met fan would appreciate the sensibility of the New York sports fan showing up full-throated. The sound, again, for me, I am biased growing up in New York City. There is a different sound when a New York sports crowd cheers in unison. Sounds similar in Boston. Sounds similar in Philadelphia. But when a New York, I grew up, so I'm biased towards it, and I hadn't heard that sound in a very long time. And the Yankees and the Astros played last night with fans in the stands for the first time since Jose Altuve yanked one off of Aroldis Chapman and, walked around the base paths and ran around the base paths. Don't take off my jersey. Weird. This is the only way to put it. Weird times 3.
It was weird.
Home plate celebration to go to the World Series. And this was the first time after all of the confirmation of, all that went down in 2017 on top of all the conversations that went down in 2019 and so on and so forth. We were convened in Yankee Stadium last night, and it's still, a less than crowd that's allowed in New York. But there's still fans in there, and they showed up, and it sounded like 50,000 of them.
It was loud.
And they were going nuts. And what they were chanting towards Altuve was not mentionable on a show like this one. And it was loud, and Alex Bregman stepped up to the plate and drilled one into the bullpen. And he wears 2 because he's a Jeter guy. And you remember, he was the one who wrecked the buffet on Derek Jeter night by going yard multiple times. And he is just a competitor to the max. He drills one in the left center to keep the crowd quiet for a moment. Then the Yanks get out of the inning. Crowd goes crazy. Zach Greinke takes the bump. LeMahieu gets on base right up the middle. And my apologies to Giancarlo Stanton, who I called Jesse Barfield with more zeros the other day.
You're not entirely wrong.
But he has been just red hot. And I'm telling you, what he is doing to the baseball requires a new special episode of Law and Order. That's what he's doing to the baseball right now. And he yoked one out into left field. And when the ball landed to give the Yankees a 2-1 lead in this atmosphere, I heard that New York crowd roar for the first time since the pandemic began. Probably for the first time since what? Because the 2019 Jets and Giants didn't finish up very strong. Probably for the first time since the Yankees won a playoff game against the Astros before "Don't Take My Jersey Off" happened. It was just awesome. Great to see playoff baseball atmosphere. I mean, we've seen some intense battles out here already between the Dodgers and the Padres. And I say this knowing that I'm on throughout the entire state of California and in Mexico and around the globe because of the mightier 1090 signal that we've been on since they turned the signal back on, and we say hello to the Southern California fans. It's just different. I'm from the New York area. I feel different. I just heard that's a different sound. It was great, man. Fans in the stands, and it was personal. Hadn't felt that way in a while for a sporting event. It was just great. And to see baseball in that respect, too, it was awesome.
The first month, and now we're in the weekend to April of baseball, have been incredible.
Sean Payton, hour 2 coming up. It has been. It's been fun.
It's been fun.
Again, those Dodger Padres games were
playoff
great.
Games.
Have the Cubs and Cardinals played yet? I don't know if they have. I know the Yankees and Red Sox haven't yet.
Yeah, kind of shocking. Usually there's an April series.
But there's no. I don't think the Yankees, even though there's the Apple Watch, and then there's the accusations that have come back because the Yankees had Carlos Beltran in the office with Alex Cora winking in some offhanded, not so offhanded remarks when they were in London.
The London series.
In the summer of 2019. And
yeah, the rivalry isn't as hot as it was in the mid-aughts.
Well, it is. It's going to be hot again. It will be because it looks like the Yankees are now above 500.
Fine.
And it's now those are now the top two teams in the American League East, and we might settle in once the rivalry finally hits. I believe the first games are in June.
Eesh.
And so we haven't tasted that yet. But Astros Yankees. Oh, I know the Angels fans were throwing trash cans on the field.
Yeah,
Week one.
inflatable trash cans.
Right?
Fantastic.
And we're not even talking about Mike Trout is hitting like 450 right now.
It was funny. I watched because
And
I watched.
Ohtani leads the league in home runs.
I watched I watched the Yes broadcast a lot, obviously.
Right.
And they showed, how hot Stanton has been, and also like how exit velocity and Stanton's like top exit velocities in the last 2-3 years. And Trout was on that list too. And I think it was either David Cohn or Paul O'Neill, who was great with K, says, is it just me or is Mike Trout on every one of these
like lists that
lists
come out? Yeah.
that we talk about
Like
best?
advanced metrics.
Is he on
list.
every
Yeah,
one
yeah.
of them? And K just deadpans, it's not you. Will we see him in October? Angels are above 500 right now, are they not? Right?
They're playing great.
Yeah.
They're playing great.
Hey, you watched all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Watch more right here.